All right, we got another Lego Star Wars set ready to go. This time we have the Mandalorian's N-1 Starfighter. If you remember, he picked this ship up in the Book of Boba Fett. This was after the Razor Crest had blown up, so he had Peli Moto, maybe, help him repair this old N-1 Starfighter. You see this is set 75325 with 412 pieces. Not really sure why it's rated 9+ for age. If you remember the Luke's Ant set that was included with the Landspeeder was 18+, so not sure how Lego goes about rating for ages. You can see all the Lego pieces are the Minifigs that we have. The front box art having Boba Fett and Fennec Shan. The back, you can see it with it fully complete, all the minifigs set out. Looks like the cockpit area's wide open. This one is not an Ultimate Collector set, so it doesn't have any cool box art from scenes of the show. But you can see on the bottom here, I'll get to it, that it has the little bits of intricacies that will come with this set. It has one of those blasters, not the first one to do this, and it has a storage set, also not the first one to do this, but cool to include. So let's get into it. This isn't a Ultimate Collector set, as I said, so the box is a bit different. When you open it, you don't cut the tape, and I'm gonna go on record and say that I do not like this style. Every time I pop my thumbs through those holes, I feel like I'm damaging the box. Just not a good feeling on my part when I'm opening it up. We got the book, we got the bags. This is another funny thing by Lego. You can see right there it says bags 1 and 1 and then 2. Just say 1, 2, 3. We have the stickers, only 3 of them in this build. I'd have to check if there was a significance to this, but we have a white instruction booklet instead of a black one, which is normal. And we're gonna jump right into it. So opening bags number 1, and I guess bag 1A should just be 1 and 2, and then these should be A and B, in my opinion. Other people might disagree, but if I could write an email to, I can absolutely write an email to Lego, but if I was to write Lego an email, it would be to rename their bags. So right off the bat, we're gonna start with building Mando's minifig, which is really cool. It's got a lot going on. He's got his Darksaber. That's Mando without his mask on. A lot of times when someone has a helmet, it's just a gray minifig head, so I appreciate that they gave him an actual face print. There you saw his back design without the jetpack, and this is what he looks fully built. So now we're gonna go into the actual starship build. Most of this, like the Landspeeder build, is just building the entire body and then the wings in a different capacity and then piecing it together. A part of that is really cool because you feel like you work on something and then you could take a break and then come back to it. I know in the last video that I put out, I labeled it as like a side quest. So with the Landspeeder, I felt like I was just going. There was no real break. I personally do like the side quests. I like being able to put something together and then kind of have a clear headspace going into something else. And then once you have one project done and another project done, you piece them together and it, is really cool to see that come together. I remember when I was first putting this together with those little tail pieces there, not knowing that this was the tail originally, I was like, when did the N-1 Starfighter get these, front-facing guns? But then I have to remember back to the episode that this N-1 Starfighter is a repaired / modified version of the N-1 Starfighters that we would have seen in episode 1, The Phantom Menace. They have that battle on Naboo, and they're completely yellow. So one really cool detail about this that they took from the Book of Boba Fett episode is that those completely yellow ships are faded, they're rusted. I think even in the episode, they give it kind of a different spray paint. So this one, when it's fully built, you're gonna see lots of gray and little bits of yellow. The, remaining bits of paint that were from the original version of the N-1 Starfighter. Now, they do actually have a Naboo Starfighter, an N-1 Starfighter from Episode 1. I do not personally have that. Eventually down the line, it'd be cool to add that to the collection of starships that I have, but I'm a huge Mandalorian fan, and so I just went with this one. Can someone please, this is a quick side note, what does that icon mean? If there are any LEGO fans out there, it's just a minifig looking like he's getting his eye poked out, and with these steps that came with, it didn't look like there were any pieces that might end up in my eye. So, especially if this is an 18 plus build, what 18-year-old and older is, whoop, lost a piece? Ah, God, went in my eye, you know? So if you know what that is for, I think it pops up twice in the book for this particular build, and I had never seen it for any other build. I think I have like 15 other projects that I've done for LEGO. So back to what I was saying earlier, you had the body of the ship, then we moved on to the wings, you piece them together, and then you get the pieces to kind of solidify the build together. The wings plus the body, now it's one whole unit. I really like that kind of side mission to make that happen. Flipping it over to get that thruster engine. With the Star Wars builds, another cool thing that I like that they do with color, you can see it on the table there. There's like a clearish, translucent light blue piece. That was just showing that we're getting sticker number 2 with the speedometers. But for the thrusters, kind of the engine, it's not straight fire. There's a little bit of like, I don't know, futuristic plasma color coming from these engines, so that little hint of translucent blue is a cool touch. On to sticker number 1. And this is a piece of the design that we'll get to a little bit later. Now on to bag number 2. We're going to start off with a couple minifigs again. There we have the BD unit. It's not clear if this is the BD-1 droid from Jedi Fallen Order that is partnered with Cal Kestis, but we know that there was a BD unit that was in the Book of Boba Fett. I guess you could probably say this is the main event. Baby Yoda, Grogu, the child. His print is kind of mediocre. It's just the front of the shirt. I wish there was a little bit on the back. I understand it's a small unit, but you know, a little bit more design. Like you have a Pelemoto. Again, I don't know if I'm saying the name correct, but she has a belt. She has the textured hair. She had, even though her hair is covering her back, it's still a really nice print there. I wish they did that a bit for Grogu. You'll see later that he does get a position in the cockpit, so maybe that's why they didn't do it, because a majority of the people will keep him in there, so there's not really a need for the design. But just that extra step, I wish we had a little bit more design on Grogu there. Now these pieces are cool, the windshields here, they clip into those hook pieces because they can open and close. If you're thinking back to the Landspeeder build that I just did last week, that was just put it on the base of the ship and get on with your day. This is really cool because it can be interactive, so you can position Mando and Grogu inside the ship or outside of the ship, depending on how you want to display it. As you can see, we're going with the first engine. I believe this is the right side engine. And again, to compare it to the Landspeeder unit that I just built last week, Luke's left side engine had exposed wires. It wasn't completely fixed. and the Lego designers put that into the build. So similar here, where Mando and Pele have to repair this ship, it's not fully complete. So you see that in the engines here. And the left side and the right side are not identical. They are two of the same engines, but there are little differences between how you see the left and the right. Last but not least, we got sticker number 3. Again, another difference between the left and the right engine. And here we go, we have the blaster underneath, and like I said, that piece on top, when you press it down, pew, we get that laser underneath. Again, not the first build to do this, but I personally find that a really cool feature. You know, you have someone coming over to your desk or something, oh, what's this? What's this ship? It looks real cool. And then you can show all these extra features, like the storage unit for Mando's jetpack and his Darksaber, and the blaster. So all very cool features for a build like this. And there you go. We have the full ship. You have Mando, Grogu, BD unit, and Pele Moto. And that's what it's going to look like if you just, you know, sat them positioned out front, kind of empty in the cockpit. So I believe most people, myself included, are going to position it like this. You have Pele and BD out in front, and then Mando and Grogu sitting in the cockpit themselves. And somehow Grogu looks even cuter when in his own little cockpit bubble. And I wanted to put this clip in because I was honestly surprised a bit at how big the N-1 Starfighter unit is. So I put it next to the Landspeeder, and they are almost identical in length. Obviously the Landspeeder is a heftier build, but this was a little bit surprising. Now you can see that the Landspeeder had its own base or stand there, and the N-1 Starfighter did not. So I like to go to a place called Wicked Brick, and they have really good stands to make them look like they're in flight. This was a really fun build. I hope you guys enjoyed it. They won't all be Star Wars Lego, so look forward to the next video. Thanks, bye.